Every time you open your mouth to explain yourself, you are handing her a weapon to use against you. You think you are communicating, but all she sees is a man who is terrified of being misunderstood. She sees a man who is chasing her validation with every sentence. And the more you talk, the more she loses interest. The more you explain, the more she realizes she has already won. But there is a specific type of silence that feels like a cold blade to her ego. It is not the silence of a man who is pouting or throwing a tantrum. It is the silence of a man who has decided that his peace is more important than her drama. It is the silence of a man who has effectively deleted her influence from his mind. In the next several minutes, we are going to dive into the dark mechanics of why your absence is 10 times more powerful than your presence. You will learn why her mind starts to fracture when she can no longer provoke a reaction from you, the exact value trap you fall into when you break your silence too early, and how to use the void to reclaim a level of respect you have not felt in months. If you are tired of being the one who cares more, listen closely. This is the end of your noise, and the beginning of your power. Most men fear silence because they think it makes them look weak or passive. They are wrong. Silence is the ultimate architecture of power. When you speak, you are a known quantity. You are a map that has already been drawn. She knows where your boundaries are because you keep talking about them. She knows what hurts you because you keep complaining about it. You are providing her with a constant stream of data that she can use to predict your every move. Think of your words as a currency. If you print money every single hour, the value of that currency drops to zero. This is the state of the average man. He over-explains. He justifies. He begs for understanding. He is a hyperinflated economy of noise. When he feels her pull away, he doubles his production of words. He sends longer texts. He leaves longer voicemails. He tries to talk his way back into her heart. But all he is doing is making his presence cheaper and cheaper until it is worth nothing at all. He becomes a background noise that she can easily tune out. He is no longer a man, he is a repetitive signal that has lost its meaning. The absolute man is the gold standard. His words are rare, which makes them expensive. When you stop talking, you stop devaluing yourself. You create a void. Nature hates a vacuum. When you create a psychological void through silence, her mind is forced to fill it. And because her mind is currently tuned to conflict or testing, the things she fills that void with are her own deepest insecurities. She begins to wonder why the man who used to chase is now standing still. She begins to wonder if you have finally seen through the games. She fears your silence because it acts as a mirror, reflecting her own chaos back at her while you remain as still as a frozen lake. She is used to you being the fire that she can put out. When you become the ice, she has no tools left to fight you. Fire is predictable, it consumes itself, and it is easily extinguished with a bit of cold indifference. But ice is structural. Ice is patient. Ice expands until it cracks the very foundation of the drama she tried to build. Every woman has a mental script for the men she deals with. She knows that if she pulls away, you will chase. She knows that if she ghosts you, you will send a check-in text. She knows that if she starts an argument, you will defend your honor. This predictability is her shield. It makes her feel safe because she knows exactly how much power she has over you. It gives her the freedom to treat you with disrespect because she knows the consequence will only be more of your attention. When you go silent, you shatter that shield. You are no longer following the script. You have introduced a variable she cannot account for. You are no longer the character she wrote in her head. You have walked off the stage, and now she is standing under the spotlight alone, performing for an audience that is no longer there. Imagine a predator in the tall grass. The prey is not afraid of the lion they can see, they are terrified of the rustle in the grass that they cannot identify. Your silence is that rustle. By saying nothing, you become an enigma. She begins to wonder if you have reached a level of Stoic enlightenment that she cannot touch, or if you have simply found a higher path that no longer includes her. This uncertainty is a psychological poison. It creates a fear of the unknown that no amount of beauty or charm can fix. She realizes that while she was playing checkers, you walked away from the board entirely. She starts to realize that her power over you was an illusion that you allowed her to have. Now that you have withdrawn your participation, her power has vanished. It was never her power to begin with, it was your energy fueling her ego. Without your fuel, her ego begins to starve. Imagine a rare art gallery in the heart of a silent city. The most expensive piece in the entire collection is not the one with the most colors or the most complex frame. It is the piece kept in a room by itself, behind a heavy velvet rope, shrouded in total silence. People whisper in its presence. They do not dare to touch it. They do not demand it explain itself. They simply stand and observe, feeling the weight of its importance. Now, imagine a street performer on a crowded corner. He is loud, he is begging for attention, and he is explaining his act to everyone who walks by, hoping for a moment of their time. People throw pennies at him, or they ignore him entirely because he is making himself too available. He is demanding to be seen, which makes him invisible. When you break your silence to explain your feelings or defend your position, you are the street performer. You are begging for a penny of her attention. You are showing her that you are available for any price. When you stay silent, you become the masterpiece. You are the one behind the velvet rope. She is terrified of your silence because it forces her to realize she has not earned the right to hear your voice. It forces her to question her own value. She begins to wonder if she is the one who should be begging for your attention. This shift in the internal hierarchy is where true respect is born. Silence is the ultimate luxury, and she realizes she is no longer on the guest list. In every interaction, there is a person who cares more and a person who cares less. The person who cares less holds all the cards. This is a brutal truth of human nature that most men refuse to accept. Usually, through drama and emotional tests, she tries to force you into the position of the one who cares more. She wants to see you sweat. She wants to see you lose your cool because it proves that she is the center of your universe. Your reaction is her access pass to your heart. Even if your reaction is anger, it is still a confirmation that she matters. It is a signal that she can still pull your strings. If she can make you angry, she can still control you. If she can make you sad, she still owns you. But your silence is a cold eviction notice. It tells her that her access pass has been revoked. Imagine a king sitting on a throne while a person screams insults from the gate. If the king sends his guards to beat the person, the king has lost because he has acknowledged the person's existence. He has allowed the peasant to dictate his actions. He has proven that the peasant's words have enough weight to move the throne. But if the king simply continues his dinner, staring through the person as if they were made of glass, the king has won. The peasant has no power over the king's peace. She fears your silence because it proves that her greatest weapon, her ability to affect your mood, is now blunt and useless. You have become emotionally expensive, and she realizes she can no longer afford you. She realized that your world does not revolve around her mood swings, and that realization makes her feel smaller than she ever has before. She is looking for a reaction to validate her existence, and you are giving her nothing but the cold, hard vacuum of space. When you argue with a woman, you give her a reason to stay angry. You give her ammunition. She can walk away from the conflict saying that you are aggressive, or that you are insensitive, or that you do not understand her. Your words give her a place to hide from her own mistakes. They give her a way to rationalize her bad behavior by blaming your reaction. But when you are silent, there is nowhere for her to hide. The room becomes empty of your voice, leaving only her own actions to echo against the walls. A man who defends himself is a man who can be blamed. A man who says nothing leaves the other person to fight themselves. Without your noise to distract her, she is forced to sit in the silence with her own conscience. She has to look at how she treated you. She has to look at the games she played and the disrespect she showed. Your silence becomes a deafening roar of her own guilt. She is terrified of this because she can no longer blame you. The hero and villain story she built in her head falls apart when the hero refuses to fight. She begins to realize that she pushed a good man too far, and the silence is the sound of that man finally closing the door for good. This is where the regret phase begins. It is a slow, burning realization that she threw away something of high value for a moment of drama. This regret is not born from what you said, but from the heavy, suffocating weight of what you did not say. It is the weight of the unanswered question and the void that used to be filled by your warmth. The final reason she fears your silence is because she knows it is the forge where a new man is being made. Silence is not empty, it is full of work. It is the sound of a man rebuilding his own foundation. While she is spiraling in the unknown, trying to figure out your next move, you are actually making your move. You are reading. You are training. You are finding your purpose and focusing on your mission. You are extracting your identity from the relationship and placing it back where it belongs, within yourself. You are becoming a version of yourself that no longer requires her presence to feel complete. She fears that by the time she builds up the courage to break the silence and reach out to you, the version of you she knew will be dead. She is terrified that the man who used to crave her validation has been replaced by a man who only craves his own respect. She knows that once a man discovers he can be happy and powerful without her, she has lost him forever. Stoicism is not about punishing others with silence, it is about protecting your peace from their noise. It is about recognizing that your energy is a limited resource that should not be wasted on those who do not respect it. But to the person who lives for the noise and the control, your peace looks like a fortress they can no longer siege. You are not just being quiet. You are becoming untouchable. You are becoming the prize that she once thought she owned. You are moving into a realm where her opinion of you is irrelevant. The world is full of men who talk because they are afraid of the quiet. They talk because they think it makes them look strong. They fill the air with noise to distract themselves from their own lack of direction. Be the man who does not have to. Be the man whose presence is felt more than his voice. Your silence is not just a wall, it is a throne. It is the highest expression of a man who knows his own worth and refuses to bargain for it. If she wants to be part of your kingdom, she will have to learn to respect the peace you have built within it. If she cannot handle the silence, she was never meant to hear your voice in the first place. This is not a game of being mean. This is a game of being absolute. This is the moment you decide that your silence is worth more than her approval. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe to join this brotherhood of the silent roar. Once you make the decision to value your peace over her validation, she will never look at you the same way again. The era of your noise is over. The era of your power has begun.